Alright, what's good with y'all niggas, bruh? It's Don Coolio coming at y'all with another video. In this video, as y'all can tell, I'm finna be using Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And yes, this is ranked. You feel me? I came to rank for the one time. This is actually I made a video fighting OPAC. This was actually in that same session. I just clipped out basically when I fought him. But like I said, here go the full session though, for real. But yeah, if y'all didn't read the title, obviously y'all did. This video finna be talking about the fact that Dragon Ball Sparring Zero failed for this one reason. And this is probably a reason that a lot of people didn't think of. This is a reason that in my opinion, it just came to my mind, and when it did, I immediately put it in my notes because it's like, damn, nobody really thought about this. And it's like, in a sense, you can kind of get them a little leeway for this. A little bit. You can't get them a crazy amount of leeway, but you can get them a little bit amount of leeway, bro. And the reason I feel as though that these games failed, or that Sparring Zero failed, is because we gotta realize, bro, back in the day, like for example, right, Tenkaichi 3. The reason Tenkaichi 3 didn't really fail, the reason they was able to put everything into that game, even though we already know that they do everything now for money. You know, they do a lot of different things now for money and not just for the love. But back then, obviously, they put love into the game. But another reason why I feel as though the game was a lot more polished, and every game back then was more polished, right? Every game back in the day was more polished, and I'm finna tell you why right now, bro. Back in the day, it was only one Dragon Ball game out that dominated the scene. Now it's multiple, not even including the phone games, right? In my opinion, that's why games now are damn near lackluster. And I know somebody wondering, what does that have to do with anything? What do you mean by that? Bro, they had all their team, everybody at Bandai was only focused on one game at a time, bro. When it came to each franchise at least, right? Like I said, when Tenkaichi was out, bro, that was the only Dragon Ball game out at the time. I think they did make the Budokai games, but if I'm not mistaken, Tenkaichi came out. Let me look it up, bro. Okay, so the Budokai games obviously came out before the Tenkaichi games, and I feel as though, but even then, it really don't matter because back then, once a game dropped, it was just out. It wasn't like it was had to keep getting supported and all this other shit. You feel me? The only Dragon Ball game that I guess kind of had to keep getting supported back then was maybe the online games where you could fight online, like Tenkaichi 3 on the Wii. Maybe, I don't know if you could do it on Budokai, on the Budokai games like Budokai 3 and all that. I'm not really sure. I know you could fight online on Tenkaichi 3 on the Wii though, which forced it to keep on getting supported, obviously, till they turned the servers off. But in a sense, it's not really getting supported, you know, like how games do today. You gotta get patches, it's gonna be DLC, it's gonna be online, you know, it's all this different shit that Bandai has to worry about for not just one Dragon Ball game, but all the Dragon Ball games. And not just all the Dragon Ball games, but all the anime games in general, right? Back then it was only Tenkaichi, it was only Budokai, and it probably was only a Storm game or some shit. You feel me? Those was the only games, anime games dominating the scene back then, bro. So it was easy. Even on PS3 when they came out with Rage and Blast, bro, and what's it called? That was the only, bro. That was down there the only Dragon Ball game out, bro. When they was dropping them games, but it was the only ones out at the time. It wasn't like they was constantly supporting multiple different Dragon Ball games at once. You feel me? And that's what I feel like the difference is now. And that's why a lot of the games definitely don't have love into it, because they coming out with so many different games, it's impossible for them to really put their heart and soul into one game. That's almost impossible, bro. That's impossible. For example, right? Let me give y'all an example. Now, personally, I wasn't the biggest fan of Spider-Man 2, the game for PS5. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I still love the game because it's Spider-Man. I fuss with Spider-Man, you feel me? I always fucked with Spider-Man. Like I said, my first video game was Spider-Man. But what I will say about that game and just that series in general is that people, you know, a lot of people say that Spider-Man PS4 was the best Spider-Man game ever, right? That's because it's the only Spider-Man game to come out in years. Same with Spider-Man 2. Same with Spider-Man Miles Morales, right? That was the only game to come out in years. They not releasing nothing on the Xbox. Nigga, they barely releasing it for the PC. It's only coming out for the P5. And only that, bruh. Only that. That's why them games are so good, bro. It's because the company that made it is only basically working on it. Now, Granted, it might get a little worse now. I feel like the quality of the Spider-Man games might drop a little bit more than they already have. Just because this Wolverine game finna drop, and I feel like that's probably going to take the world by storm when that drops. So Spider-Man probably going to get put on the back burner, at least a little bit, you know. And they probably finna have to support both of them games at once. So I don't know. We gonna see, man. We gonna see. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that down in the comment section, bro. But yeah, like I said, I feel as though a lot of different games and stuff like that really don't get the love that they need and don't get the real support that they deserve. Like, you know, fixing shit in the game that's supposed to been already fixed, and just a lot of different, just minute details. Like, bro, I guarantee y'all, bro, if there was no Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, if there was no Xenoverse, you feel me? If there was no those two games, if there was no Dragon Ball phone games and Sparking Zero dropped, bro, Sparking Zero would have dropped with all the maps. It would have dropped with every single map, all the gameplay fixes that need to be fixed, bro. The game would have dropped without all that in the game. The game would have dropped literally probably as a mirror image to Tenkaichi 3, just with the same graphics and probably with none of the problems. You feel me? None of the same problems. They probably would have added revenge counter and super perception and shit like that, and all that, you know, beam deflection and, you know, all that extra shit. But they would have added that. But it would have been a perfect game. It would have been perfect, bro. Literally, it would have been perfect. And the reason it's not is because they got to keep supporting all these other games. The reason we got such a lackluster DLC 1 is because they got to keep supporting all these other games. The reason why the DLCs in general are lackluster is because they got to keep supporting all these other fucking games, bro. And I understand these games are being made by different companies, right? Like, Sparking is made by Spike Chunsoft. It's still developed by Bandai, though. You feel me? So Xenoverse, made by Dimps, if I'm not mistaken, still supported. It's still being published by Bandai, you know what I mean? So it's like it's still under the same coin. It's just they not gonna be able to, bro. We'll never be able to get a Dragon Ball game that's finna be perfect no more. We gonna probably get straight 7 out of 10s, bro. That's what it's finna be. Tenkaichi 3, 10 out of 10. Budokai 3, 10 out of 10. You feel me? A lot of these old anime games, 10 out of 10, bro. We will never get that again, just simply because, bro, like, they always worry about other shit too. You can't, if you doing one thing, if you trying to do too many things at once, none of them is gonna be the best that you can. Put it like this, bro. Imagine you got somebody that hoop, that play football, that run track, that play baseball, that play golf. Hockey. They play all that. Man, imagine you got somebody that play every sport at the school, right? They gonna be mid at all the goddamn sports. They gonna be a 7 out of 10 at each sport. But imagine if they stopped playing all them sports and just focused on one. Imagine they just was playing football. Nigga, they probably would be a god on the field, bro. They probably would be a god. That's what I'm saying, like, bro. The reason these games keep flopping like this, keep doing like this, bro, is because they not solely focused on them, bro. That's all it is. That's all it is, bro. And it's the same thing with the Storm games, bro. Y'all see how Storm is now? Bro, Storm before Storm Connections was literally a perfect series, bro. No, I ain't never hear nobody really complain about none of the Storm games till Storm Connections, bro. Till Storm Connections came out, bro, all the Storm games are straight. Maybe not I think it was one called like Storm Revolution, but I really didn't hear no complaints about that because people really didn't they look at them as Storm games, but they didn't look at it as like a, you know, nothing crazy. And in a sense, it's kind of like that with Storm Connections, because Storm Connections is one of those like filler type of games. But I mean, it's still a Storm game, and they promoted it like it was finna be a real Storm game, like Storm 4, which it is still a real Storm game. Y'all know what I mean, bro. But y'all see, there's a lot of problems that came out with that game that, bro, it wasn't in the last game, bro. And there's still problems in that game now that wasn't in the last game. And it's because, y'all, guess what they still doing? They are simultaneously working on that game while also working on Shinobi Striker. They still drop DLC for, bro, Shinobi Striker is the Xenoverse of Naruto, 100%. It literally is the same game. It's just Naruto. So that's what I'm saying, like, bro, the reason these games do like this is because they be too much worried about other shit, bro. They too much worried about other shit, bro. Bro, what, bro? Like I said, imagine it was just Xenoverse. Imagine if it was just Kakarot. Imagine if it was just Sparking Zero. Imagine if it was just fighterz. Imagine if those would, like, if one of those games was the only Dragon Ball game we had, right? Imagine, bro, the game probably would be perfect, bro. It would probably be perfect. You know, it would probably be perfect, bro. No cap. And it's just, like I said, it's just real sad now that gaming is like this. And I understand like they trying to, like I said, they just trying to make money. That's why they keep doing all this different shit. We got some Dragon Ball game coming out now called Dragon Ball Multi. Bro, why are we getting them? Why are we getting new Dragon Ball games? Like, bro, nobody's even finna play that shit, bro. Y'all not even fixing the game, the literal cash cow that y'all just dropped, and we still getting new ones. It's cause these niggas want money. What I tell y'all, quantity over quality. That's how they live. Quantity over quality, bro. They gonna do whatever it takes to make money. We just seen it with Call of Duty releasing Black Ops 7 for no reason. You know what I mean? For no reason at all. And that's why I be telling y'all, bro, like, it's just a sad day and age for gaming, in my opinion. Like, right now, gaming is just, it's not, at least for like games like this, it's never gonna be exactly what we, expect. Like, it was never gonna be Tenkaichi 3 because they worry about too many other games, right? This game really only dropped because of Daima anyway. They just wanted to drop something with some hype to, because Daima was finna drop. That's really all Sparking Zero was. They claim they was working on it for years. You can't have worked on a game for years and then drop and it's worse than the last game. That don't even make any sense. You know what I'm saying? That's lies, bro. And there's nothing that's gonna happen to them for lying like that, I had somebody leave a comment one day, bro, and say something like, we probably should be able to, we probably could sue Bandai for lying about Sparking Zero. It was a lot of things they said was gonna be in the game that wasn't in the game. Customizable auras, that was supposed to be in the game. I've been supposed to change the color of niggas' auras and all that, bro. You can't do that. They lied. They dead ass lied to niggas, bro. So it's like, bro, just, I don't know. Like I said, man, it's just a real sad day and age for gaming. But yeah, in my opinion, that's really why all the games right now, at least in the anime community, like sparking and just like a lot of really, like, let's keep it Dragon Ball based. That's why the Dragon Ball games are kind of butt right now. It's because they worry about too many different games, bro. How can you focus on one game and make the perfect DLC for one game and make this game amazing when you also worry about making a DLC for this game? The whole time they've been making DLC for Sparking Zero, they was working on Xenoverse DLC and they was working on Kakarot DLC. That's what was happening. And for some reason, I feel like that's one of the reasons why they stopped making content for fighterz. I think it's because of that. I think it's because they was like, bro, we ain't gonna be able to do content for all these motherfuckers. That's what I'm thinking, bro. You see, the DLC for Sparking Zero got delayed. Both of them. Why do you think that is, bro? It's because these niggas have to constantly work on all these other DLC at once. They have to. That's why it's like that, bro. That's why it's like that. And I realized that the other day. I'm like, bro, it just don't make sense. And that's the only thing different now than it was back then was the fact that we got all these different anime, all these different Dragon Ball games, bro. Then we got this Dragon Ball Multi coming out. Like, what are we doing? Why? What is that? Why would anybody, I ain't gonna lie, me personally, and this is not to sound like hate on the game or nothing, but why would anybody want to play that shit anyway? That shit look trash. Or am I tripping? Y'all let me know down in the comment section. Are y'all gonna play that Dragon Ball Multi shit? I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that, bro. It's over with. That shit's super dead, bro. But yeah, like I said, bro, the main reason why the games is just so trash now is just simply because it's too many games out, bro. This what they got to do, bro. Either they have to stop supporting one of the games, which in my opinion is probably not gonna happen because Kakarot is a single player game. That's the only single player Dragon Ball game out right now that's like purely story mode. So they're gonna keep supporting that, especially when something new drop like Daima, obviously. Xenoverse, they not gonna support that because that's like that's probably like they best, in my opinion, bro. Xenoverse probably could be like the best idea of a Dragon Ball game ever. Just because you can make your own character and do a whole bunch of other stuff, you feel me? That's probably, I don't think they ever gonna stop supporting that until they make Xenoverse 3. They'll never stop supporting Xenoverse 2. And then like Sparking Zero just dropped. They gonna stop supporting Sparking Zero soon. I bet, bro, I'm telling y'all, I bet money right now. They gonna stop dropping DLC for Sparking Zero after this next DLC. They're not dropping another DLC for this shit, bro. Sparking Zero is the Storm Connections of the Dragon Ball games. Literally. It's the storm connections of the Dragon Ball games. And if y'all haven't noticed on Storm, they still drop patches for Storm Connections, but they don't drop no DLC. And niggas was doing the same thing back then that they was doing now. They claimed that, oh, it's finna be a season pass 2 for Storm Connections. Never came. Never came. But guess what game kept getting DLC? Shinobi Striker. Right? Guess what they finna do with Sparking? They finna drop this next DLC. Niggas finna, oh, we finna get the next deal. We finna get the next season pass. We gonna get these characters, them characters. No, we're not. They gonna keep patching the game. And guess what game is finna keep getting DLC? Xenoverse 2. They gonna probably keep patching Sparking Zero. The only thing I can see them dropping on Sparking Zero is probably a map DLC, a map pack. That's the only thing I can see them dropping. And I don't even know about that, bro. I don't even know about that. That's the only thing I can see them dropping. And honestly, at this point, bro, I'm not even sure bro. Like, when it come to this rank reset shit, bro, I'm not even sure they finna do this, bro. Like, I don't understand why you would even say that you was finna do something like that. What was that, like the end of March or the end of, like, around February, March? Why would you even say you was finna do that back then just to let months on months go by and not even bring the rank reset? And then let the DLC drop, because you made it seem like the rank reset was going to happen with the DLC drop and with, like, you know, with the patches and shit, and it was no rank reset. Why? That's just so dumb to me, bro. Like, I don't know if I'm tripping, but that's dead ass goofy as hell to me, bro. Why would you say you was finna do that right then but never do it? Or never do it for one, and then, like, okay, actually I meant we was gonna do it on the next DLC and the next patch. That's when we gonna bring the rank reset. Why are we talking about the next DLC and the next patch when y'all, bro? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Y'all if y'all get what I'm saying, let me know down in the comment section below. But like I said, me personally, bro, I just don't think I don't think we really finna get no more content for this game. And it's not because it's just a garbage game, but it's just, I seen it before already, bro. I seen it before already. In my opinion, this is basically the same exact game as Storm Connections. It's just in a tenkaichi format. That's it, bro. Sad to say. But before we get up off of this video, I did want to give y'all this little comment of the day that somebody left on my vid. We got KCNB28. You do know that some of the people you play against are kids, right? Now, this is an interesting comment right here. This comment is on the video that I posted yesterday about that nigga being Diddy Jr. sending me that gay ass shit in my messages, bro. He said I do know some of the people I play are kids. I do understand that, bro. Like I said, that Frieza player that I fought, it's possible that nigga was a kid. It was a Frieza player that I fought. He just was spamming supers and emoted on me. That probably was a kid. I could definitely see that. However, he was a Z rank. I don't think no little kids on Sparking Zero is hitting Z rank, bro. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, bro. I just don't see it being possible. That seemed like that'd be a very difficult task for a little kid, bro. That's just me though. But personally, I think it's more people that's of age playing this game than not. I think it's more people on Sparking Zero playing that's probably like above 18 or older, just simply because the only people that's really still finna be playing this game is probably, the little kids, but a lot of the people that played Tenkaichi 3 back in the day and just still playing this game based on nostalgia. Like me personally, I still play this game based on nostalgia. And all the people that I know that play this game are older people. Everybody that literally majority of the niggas I know that play this game are older. Like, and when I say older, I don't mean old, but just like not little kids, bro. You feel me? Not little kids. But yeah, like I said, it is little kids on here, but I don't think that's the majority of the population on the game. Personally, especially not like the Z rank. I ain't gonna, like I said, you not finna be no little kid hitting Z rank on Sparking Zero, bro. Because you finna have to go through grown people fucking sitting here playing cheesy like you, but they know what they doing. That's the difference, bro. You play against a grown motherfucker in this bit, they know what they doing. They gonna beat your ass, you feel me? So I just don't see it being possible, bro. I feel like if a little kid was to play Sparking Zero and go to ranked and try to hit Z rank, but they probably would actually commit suicide, which is actually sad. They would probably cry themselves to sleep every night, bro, because they wouldn't be able to. Because either you gonna run into somebody like me who's just simply better than you. You gonna run into Demon Joe. You gonna run into ambassador plays. You gonna run into just super duper sweats. Or you gonna run into somebody cheesing you like unzed the whole fucking time. So it's your pick of the litter. That's who you finna run into if you go to rank, bro. You're not hitting Z rank. You gonna run into that the moment you hit S rank, you finna start playing them types of niggas, bro. That's exactly what's gonna happen. That's exactly what's gonna happen. So, nah, personally, a lot of the people that I be talking trash, I don't think they little kids, bro. Cause little kids, they do, but this the thing, they do act like little kids though, right? You will think by the messages that they are little kids, but they be grown niggas, bro. It be weirdo niggas in the community. I don't know why y'all be acting brand new to the shit. Like y'all just don't realize like, oh, it's weirdos in this bitch, bro. It is super weird niggas in this bitch, bro. No cap. But yeah, y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all think about what bro said in the comment. No hate towards him. I ain't really got nothing bad to say about him unless he was trying to cook me then. If you was trying to cook me, let me know down in the comment section, the nigga who I said was coming of the day, because I will get on your ass next video. I just need to know. I need to know personally. I can't let you hold me like that, you feel me? But yeah, though, man. Shout out to everybody I played in this video. I don't know if y'all seen I played Unison the match before this. He was the UI sign player. He definitely nice. Definitely one of the best players I done played on here. He got a lot of nice techs. But he was also one of the players that OPAC put ahead of me. Or not even just ahead of me, but in a tier higher than me. And like I said, Unison is tough. But y'all seen, like I said, at the end of the day, the least you can take from that is that I'm on the same level as Unison. The least you can take from it, right? So if that's the case, nigga, I should have been in Legend, you feel me? I should have been in Legend too, you feel me? But like I said, I don't really care like that. Shout out OPAC. Definitely was a solid list outside of that. Outside of a few things, in my opinion. But outside of that, it was a cool little list. But yeah, like I said, y'all let me know what y'all think about what I was talking about when it came to the Sparking Zero games and just Dragon Ball games in general, and why they flop and just like, don't generally do that well after they come out for a while. At least right now, like why the support is just so trash for them. But yeah, like I said, y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all think about that though. But yeah, like I said, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I appreciate y'all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. And Don Coolio out, bruh.